Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. Today we have a very interesting tease for the Acolyte, but we're gonna begin with the Rey movie by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. Daisy Ridley's been speaking to various outlets, and she's provided some new insights into the next stage of Rey's life, 15 years after the events of Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker. Daisy Ridley confirms the script for a new Star Wars movie isn't finished, and no, that rumour isn't true. So basically they're saying, filming on the movie is probably not going to start this spring, as has been previously reported. It could be late 2024, maybe pushing into 2025. And there's some very interesting juicy information, so let's dive straight in. During a conversation at SXSW promoting her new film Magpie, Ridley was asked by Collider's Steve Weintraub whether it's true the new Star Wars movie starring Rey Skywalker is titled New Jedi Order, to which Daisy replied, "I don't know. I mean, I think so." From the announcement, I don't think that's changed. And I think she's referring to the fact that this is the working title, not the final one. We just don't know at this stage what the final movie is going to be called. And while we do know she knows what to expect in terms of the plot, from things she's heard, she still has to read a single script, saying, quote, "I know a script is happening and I'm going to be reading it imminently," which is very exciting. Her excitement is one shared by many sequel trilogy fans, and echoes sentiment by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who, speaking to CNN, states that this is going to be a project she's very thrilled to work on and is going to be something, quote, very special for Star Wars fans. Let's hope so. And then the biggest question was posed to Daisy, when is this going to film? To which she replied, "I think it could be this year. It could be, but I'm not sure. I think, to be honest, the writer's strike has obviously delayed quite a lot of things, so the intention was later this year. Hopefully it will be. Otherwise, top of the next, I would imagine." I think we've come to a very obvious point that The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to come first. Even if both movies were set for 2026, I think there's a good chance it's just going to be the one by Jon Favreau. Because that one is set in stone, they've already announced the plans for filming in June, the tax credit situation, actors such as Brendan Wayne said that is definitely happening and is going to start filming this year in 2024. Whereas the Rey one is pretty up in the air, and some outlets, even though I wouldn't give this too much credibility, think there is doubt the Daisy Ridley film is ever going to see the light of day. I think it will, and a lot of this is just fan math, but it's worth discussing nonetheless. Take this with a huge pinch of salt. Empire City Box Office, who don't typically double in Star Wars, said this: "I keep hearing that one of the projects that Bob Iger and Disney mentioned this week that they have quietly killed off is in fact the Rey Star Wars movie. They haven't even told Daisy Ridley. This is a rumour for now but makes logical sense." They go on to say, "Again, it might happen, and this could be wrong. But logically I can't see Disney going 5+ years without a Star Wars movie, and then suddenly filming two almost simultaneously this year, and one of them being a sequel to a trilogy that ended with terrible backlash and talent, and a storyline that is bound to be even more divisive than ever. The lead actress hasn't seen a script, director hasn't seen a script. It is the middle of March, and they're supposedly going to roll camera in the fall. They should be in heavy pre-production by now." And in response, Making Star Wars, a scoop or a leaker, replied, "This is wrong. The movie is on track. It's going to happen. There might be some problems, there could be some delays, it may not even see the light of day, but they're saying this is utterly just an example of fan math, speculation, not a legit rumour, or anything of the sorts." In other Daisy Ridley Star Wars movie news, she has confirmed in the upcoming movie Rey Skywalker is going to be a very different kind of Jedi Master to Luke, even if she's following in his footsteps. Expectations are pretty high for Daisy's return. The actor is set to don the Jedi robes once again, but she's no longer playing Rey as the fresh-faced student, no longer just a scavenger from Jakku turned Jedi, but a fully fledged Jedi Master, with students and an academy, or so the report claims. Den of Geek put forward the question to Daisy, is Rey gonna take a different approach as a teacher to the next generation than Luke in the sequel trilogy? And she replies, "I would say so. From what I understand, yes. Short answer, yes." This may come as a relief to some, those who say there was a bastardization of Luke in the sequel trilogy, how Luke would never become this hopeless recluse, throw the Skywalker saber over his shoulder. Well, it appears as though they're not going to do the same to Rey, and it's not too difficult to see why she wouldn't want to follow in that path. showing the Jedi in a more positive light, and Daisy seems pretty optimistic. Daisy Ridley also admits that she found it very hard to find any work following the rise of Skywalker. That was a very difficult period in her life, and as we've covered before, she had mixed feelings about the sequel trilogy, not in terms of its execution, but how she perceived herself. It wasn't the easiest of times. Much respect to her though, and I wish her the best. Okay, so now on to what is probably the most exciting news of the day. Marketing for The Acolyte is about to begin, and we could get a trailer in the next few weeks. Daniel RPK on Patreon says it's definitely coming sometime this month, and we've heard some intel that trades are going to be seeing the first 4 episodes of the 8. And on top of all of this, Lucasfilm is getting ready, with the official Acolyte page, which was created 2 years ago, finally being accredited, verified, and connected to the official Star Wars social media accounts. This means a trailer is inbound, probably a poster, a release date. We don't know if they're going to wait till Bad Batch Season 3 finishes airing first though. But considering this week is the midway point of the animated show's final season, this would be an opportune time to start ramping up and pushing the next live-action Star Wars show, rumoured to start airing on June 5th, although at the time of making this video, that's not been officially confirmed just yet. But a trailer is definitely inbound, some official promos, so look out for more updates. And so I will say, my dear friends, if you've not done so already, please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below, and also be sure to hit the bell to be alerted every time that I post a new video. But moving on to our final topic. The editors of the Phantom Menace trailer that came out in November of 1998 have admitted they were told to intentionally mislead the audience by putting together clips that omitted Jar Jar Binks, some of the slapstick humour, and more. Dr. David West Reynolds, one of the 2 editors responsible for the original teaser trailer, dropped a bombshell on a recent episode of the Trash Compactor podcast. According to Reynolds, he and his co-editor made the conscious decision to make a trailer that resembled the Star Wars movie fans wanted instead of the one they would soon get. Upon seeing the film George was making, it became apparent to Reynolds as a longtime Star Wars fan, this wasn't the movie that fans of the original trilogy were going to enjoy. So very little Jar Jar Binks, very little of the Neimoidians, and more of the controversial humorous side of the episode were left into the film's trailer. And this is interesting to me because I was a kid when episode 1 came out, and I've always loved it. I guess I was the target demographic, so I can't see hating those scenes with Jar Jar Binks. That being said, it's interesting hearing all of this come out on the 25th anniversary of the movie. But with that said, my dear friends, share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.